Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to Arizona State Hockey YouTube's broadcast of Division I ACHA men's ice hockey. I'm Brett Vaughn. As the Arizona State Sun Devils host UNLV Rebels in the second game of a two-game series here at Oceanside Ice Arena in Tempe, Arizona. Last night's game, Arizona State ended up winning by the score of 3-1. It was the captain, Zachary Kowalczuk's goal in the first period, which ended up leading the torch for Arizona State to hold the lead and win by the score of 3-1. For Arizona State tonight, it's going to be a new goaltender, his first college start ever in his career. It's going to be number 30, Nathan Severson from Lino Lakes, Minnesota. I'll be very excited to see how he performs tonight, as head coach Tate Green had some great words when speaking about him earlier today, saying he loves his competitiveness out there on the ice, and as well as he's been performing very well in practice. Folks, just buckle up, and just in a few minutes, we'll bring you live ACHA action here on Arizona State Hockey YouTube. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Arizona State Hockey YouTube's presentation of ACHA Division I Men's Ice Hockey. As we're about to drop the puck here in Tempe, Arizona on this Saturday night, we say thank you so much for joining us and tuning in for tonight's starting goaltenders. It'll be number 31, Lagunier, for the Rebels. Last night he started, ended up losing in the 3-1 defeat. And for the Sun Devils, it'll be for his first career start in college, number 30, Nathan Severson. And we're going to have the puck about to drop here for the Sun Devils' second game of this young season. Draw ended up being won by Damon Porter. Puck will be dumped in as Arizona State's on the forecheck. Coming out of it, the Rebels. Getting the red line was Nick Flanders. The cross-corner dump. The Rebels trying to establish the cycle. D-to-D pass. Havner couldn't get that puck cleared, and a point shot in the redirection just goes wide of the goaltender, Severson. Puck played over the weak side. Rebels having some good sustained zone pressure in the offensive zone. Walking up to the point, Flanders. Polonsky elects to not shoot, but he gets his shot blocked by the Arizona State stick of Studioso and out of play. Sun Devils with a great overall team performance last night. Really unsung heroes, especially on the penalty kill in terms of blocking shots, as well as the goaltending play of Bronson Moore. Draw one by the Sun Devils. Hard rim around by Kowalczyk will get flipped up and out of the zone. Puck's moving and it goes over the goal line and it'll be called down for an icing. It's been a tough road trip for the Rebels so far in their last two games in this Arizona swing. Ended up falling behind in both games early. Turcotte couldn't win the draw for UNLV. Another hard rim again by the Sun Devils. Lackey couldn't get it past the defenseman Eric Williams. Pitchforking it down in the corner. Puck still loose. Kowalczyk, backhand pass, Lackey. Didn't get enough juice on that clear. Pressure still mounting by the Rebels. Lackey in the neutral zone. Gives it to his line mate, Husted, but he goes in offside. Draw's going to be outside in the neutral zone. Ends up being a draw win by Chambers, and that puck gets dumped down. Puck down on by the half wall. UNLV can't clear. Kept in by Jet Larson. Larson couldn't pull the trigger as he ends up getting his stick hooked away, and Sun Devils will have to regroup. Dangerous play. John Moeller for the Rebels. Moeller with the snapshot on. Blocker save. Puck still loose in front. Cleared away by Larson. Puck block. Kept at the point by Muzzillo. Muzzillo still has the puck. Trying to weasel his way in into the center area, but he's unable to. Sun Devils just get the puck out, but it's a tired five-man group. Another quick shot on by Moeller. Blocker save again. UNLV trying to get a change on the fly with this tired Sun Devil group out here. Stick handling with it is Malone. Malone on his forehand. Malone trying to get the shot on. That shot's blocked away by Hosworth. Puck still loose in front. Aaron pass by Erickson allows Sun Devils to go for a quick change. Rebels so far are the ones with the dictating of play. Alex Demon Now 2-on-1 opportunity. Searing sends that in front, and it's an awesome chance for Hoffenkamp, but it was a stretched leg of Lagunier to make the save. Kowalczyk has to dump the puck and need a check. Searing's onside. Searing with the weak angle shot. That stayed away by Lagunier. Rebels with a soft chip. Puck's rolling end over end, but it's not going to make its way to the goal line. Jacob Yoho, breakout pass behind Hoffenkamp. Havner, he'll chip it in. Getting pressured by UNLV there down in the corner. Trying to dig for it. Puck still alive. Sun Devils now controlling in the center ice line. Chipping the puck in is a defenseman, Michael Slavic. But now the Rebels clear, cutting through the neutral zone. Demizio trying to windmill deke around, but he loses control of it. Demizio has to fight off a defender, but puck can't be kept in. Icing waved off by the linesman. Baz Asaf, the captain. Asaf sends that to the trailer, but that shot ends up being blocked by the knee of Plurd. Haven't had a whistle in the last couple of minutes. 15-15 left in this first period. It's 0-0. Kowalczyk, the reverse pass. Finding his partner Lanfer. Plurd now is able to break the puck out with speed. Plurd cutting through the middle. Ends up getting it poked away by the defenseman's stick of Jake Berry, but the Sun Devils retrieve it. Trying to center that puck in front. UNLV could be on an odd man rush break. Muzzillo. He's trying to get that puck through. Ends up being a penalty called by the referee behind the plane. It's going to be a boarding call awarded to the captain, Kowalczyk. And we'll have our first power play of the evening going towards the UNLV Rebels. Rebels had a lot of opportunities last night, but were not able to cash in at all on their opportunities. The shot draw win off of Turcotte's stick goes wide of the net. UNLV will control it though. Damon John trying to collect on his backhand side. He settles it down now. Centering in front of Turcotte. Going back into that traditional umbrella. John trying to center that in front. Puck comes up to the point. One-timer shot from Jake Sachs, and his stick ends up breaking in half, and he has to get a new one. And it's a fortunate broken stick as the Sun Devils can get a change and get fresh men out there. 30 seconds has elapsed on this man advantage for the Rebels. John couldn't handle the hot pass. And it'll be cleared back down by the defenseman Slavic all the way down to the blue line. UNLV now with speed on the regroup. Button hooking down the corner is Underwood. Underwood with playing pitch and catch with Malone. Malone has an errant pass, but he ends up coming to the other side where Jason Demizio is able to keep the puck. Demizio now sends that in front, and the one-timer saved by Severson. And the Sun Devils collect that rebound and clear it all the way down. UNLV hitting the stretch man. This time the forward is Flanders. Flanders getting pinched behind the net. Puck squirts out to his teammate Malone. DDD pass, a point shot, and that ends up being cleared away as the Sun Devils end up touching the puck, and they end up committing another penalty. It's going to be a slashing call. It's going to be Andrew Husted heading to the box for Arizona State, and UNLV has 30 seconds on a 5-on-3 opportunity now. Rebels seem to be snapping the puck around a little bit quicker tonight as they're really focusing on working in either corner and trying to have some one-touch opportunities and hit that man in the high slot. Draw one again by the Rebels. Williams to Asaf. Asaf fakes a one-timer shot. Playing up at the point. It was a beautiful stick positioning there by the forward, Clayton Lackey, to intercept the pass and get it cleared. Williams through the middle, finds Turcotte. Turcotte on the right side. He gains it, but he ends up losing control of it, as it was a beautiful play by the defenseman Connor Crook to not allow UNLV zone time. Asaf leaves it for Sachs, coming out with speed. Sachs on his forehand side, now on the backhand, wheeling around the offensive zone. Sun Devils have killed that 5-on-3 opportunity, back to 5-on-4. Williams' pass cutting through the middle of the ice ends up being deflected by an active stick of the Sun Devils. Weak clear, Sachs fakes the shot to Asaf. It was a sprawling block by Damon Porter as he was trying to clear, but he's unable to. Damon John getting stapled by Kowalchuk, gets centered in front. Turcotte's waiting for some recruits to come off the bench. Shot as that shot pass from the defenseman Jake Berry couldn't find Damon John, or else he had a wide open net. 30 seconds remaining now. UNLV finishing off that change. DeMizio up to the point. Malone. Forehand. Malone with the shot on. Traffic in front. Blocked his shot. Behind the net is Flanders. Malone now. Another shot on from the point is Barry. That goes over the net. That's virtually killed off this power play opportunity. Quick hitman pass up Malone. Puck couldn't settle down for him. So getting sticked around. The Sun Devils are back to full strength. Hoffenkamp. He finds the man hopping out of the box is Husted. 2-on-1 opportunity. Husted looking, trying to send that in front. Lackey ends up getting that puck as it was a broken play, as Husted was trying to center that pass over to Hosworth. Ends up getting to the stick of Lackey instead, and his short angle shot goes out of play. Sun Devils have to feel fortunate with some hard work and even killing off a 5-on-3 penalty for 30 seconds, not allowing UNLV to take the lead. Draw one forward by Houston, but he couldn't retrieve that puck. UNLV trying to break out the other way. Jared Erickson. Erickson with the shot on, and that's swallowed up by Severson. Shots so far in this first period are 9-1 for UNLV, as they've been really dictating the play and really had a good start so far, but nothing to show for it. It's going to be Erickson and Husted in the face-off circle to the right of Severson. Husted gets some help from his defenseman Yoho, as Yoho was trying to clear, but he didn't get enough mustard on it. UNLV keeps it in. Tristan Mayer ends up losing out to Lackey. Rebels have to touch up. Cleared with a chip shot. Lackey ends up intervening, but the Sun Devils have a little hard time trying to break out of their own zone. UNLV trying to go for a quick change as only one man is out there from the previous grouping. Jet Larson trying to reach for the puck. He loses out. UNLV coming back in again. Moeller trying to get that on shot, and it was dangerously tipped by the defenseman Jack Hosworth, and it's still loose in the Arizona State zone. Wrist shot on, somehow finds its way through. Severson trying to fight through some traffic, ends up putting the paddle down and freezing it. UNLV tonight so far in this first period have been showing a little more tenacity than last night. Been really quick with their changes and really hustling on and off the bench. Hosworth needs a check, but turns it over to Moeller. Puck finally settles down for somebody. It's Malone. Malone comes up to the point, but Can end up releasing that point shot was that defenseman for UNLV. And ASU now on the attack. Quick snapshot on from Shaw, ends up being glove save. Puck still loose. Lagunier loses the stick. Lagunier trying to find it. Ends up getting blocked by one of his teammates for the Rebels and allowed him to relieve the pressure and clear. ASU trying to find it. Hosworth taking his time. Allows Demon to come in. Demon with the snapshot on, and that's blocked away by Williams. 7 again with that shot on. Ends up getting blocked, though, as it was a beautiful defensive play by DeMizio. A little bit of time. Zachary Teed gets it out to Hoffenkamp. Arizona State now on the forecheck. Williams with his head up. Soft chip off the glass. Teed couldn't keep the puck in. Williams having to regroup, and he'll chip that in and go for a change. 8:15 remaining in this first period, and it's 0-0. Barry trying to look for that shot redirection. Couldn't get it. UNLV again, as this part of the ice has been really scraped up by all the zone time they're having. Sachs trying to look for that pass and through the middle, but ends up getting blocked by a stick. Puck going all the way down, and icing's waved off. Chipping the puck back in with Studioso. Reverse play by the UNLV defenseman allows Turcotte to come out of the zone. We'll now find Kane Tarumi. Tarumi trying to center that in front, and Severson was able to make that save. Not too much trouble, as really the only way I was going to be allowed to go in was a possible freaky bounce off a skate blade. UNLV so far getting the chances off the rush that they enjoy doing, being able to use their speed. Been really looking for crossing passes, but the active Arizona State sticks have been there to intercept them. Gonna be a draw win. Mazzillo gets that shot on the redirection, just misses wide. Hosworth loses the puck out to John. Up to the point, Barry trying to send that one in front. Puck ends up being gloved away, but it ends up being deemed a hand pass by the defenseman Connor Crook. I think he was just really more worried about just getting that puck out of the zone, and even if it is a hand pass, I think he'll gladly take it. Arizona State's Husted's going to be kicked out of the draw, I think possibly because it was their infraction that ended up having the whistle being blown on him. Plurd wins the draw on his forehand. Lackey's able to saw that one out into the neutral zone. John plays it over to defenseman Mazzillo. Mazzillo with a hard chip off the glass. Comes out to the neutral zone. John fans on the dump in. Hosworth ends up losing the puck as well. Area pass ends up getting intercepted by the shoulder of Jake Berry, but Lackey's able to still go in. Lackey, wrist shot on, and that goes a little too high. Ends up allowing the Rebels to get a free breakout in the process. Plurd ends up evading the forechecker. He'll dump it in. Lagunier behind his net leaves it for his defenseman. Plonsky, backhand chip. Tarumi trying to beat it out. There's a read by Severson, the goaltender, but he has to get back in, and he doesn't get there in time. And Jake Sachs with the head up, savvy play ends up giving UNLV their first lead of the game. I don't think it was the worst read by Severson, as it looked like Kane Tarumi was able to beat out that race on that icing call, but he didn't do a good enough job of clearing the puck, and from there did not recover in time. UNLV, for the first time in this road trip, now have a 1-goal lead. Jet Larson on the forecheck for Arizona State after that draw at the center ice. Plonsky to Tarumi. Ends up losing out to it. The puck is still stuck in the neutral zone. Turcotte faces off a check. He gets it to Tarumi, though. Tarumi faking like he's walking in. Now he sends it in front dangerously. Comes up to Polonsky. Polonsky with the shot on. Ends up being able to be tracked down by Severson, and he makes the save. Have to say, very well deserved for the Rebels, as they've been really putting up the pressure in Arizona State's zone this whole first period. Draw one by Moeller. At the point, Williams, he's able to get that point shot on. Sun Devils haven't been able to do the best of jobs blocking those point shots like they did last night. We'll have another draw again. This time it's won by Hoffenkamp. Hard rim around by Crook. Puck's up in the air. Ends up just squeaking out of the Arizona State zone. But it'll be thrown back in. D-to-D pass, Slavic. Puts the pass in the skates of Hoffenkamp, but he's able to collect it. Now he turns it over. Moeller fakes the pass. He still has control of it. Trying to wrap it around, but ends up being a little too strong on the shot, and it doesn't even hit the net. Malone with a short angle shot on. Severson was there to hug the post. Demon trying to race that puck, and was able to chip that puck in. There's some confusion going on with the call, as it seemed like the linesman thought Demon did not gain the center ice line. Referee a little confused because the goaltender Lagunier for UNLV ended up coming to play the puck, which if that was the case usually means it would negate the icing. Referee's having a bit of a discussion now, and one of the head referees is going to go over to the Arizona State bench and consult with head coach Tate Green. A little bit of confusion on the referee's part as he's letting head coach Tate Green know that they ended up making a mistake, but either way, it's going to be an offensive zone draw for the Rebels. Rebels with a 1-0 lead in this first period. Porter can win the draw for Arizona State. Puck still being bobbled for. Arizona State's able to get at least one freshman out there on the ice. Kowalchuk behind his net. DDD pass, hard seam pass, just too far in front of Adam Havner. It's going to go down for another icing call. Looks like some poor language was chosen by one of the players on the Arizona State bench, and it's going to end up resulting in a bench minor. The Sun Devils again are back on the penalty kill, as they haven't really done themselves any favors in terms of either 5-on-5 play and now being shorthanded. Could be a opportunity though. It's Andrew Husted trying to center that and controlling on his backhand. Elliot Plurd had to go to the corner. But either way, killing time and killing some energy down for UNLV on the power play. Demizio on his backhand side. Demizio trying to face his way into the front of the net, but he gets denied by Crook. Elliott Plurd skating around the neutral zone, trying to kill some more time off the clock. 30 seconds has elapsed, and that 2-minute minor to Porter. Malone. Cutting through the middle. He'll go for a chip. Puck's rolling over on edge, down in the corner. Playing underneath the goal line. Ends up being Flanders. Flanders has some time and space behind the cage, trying to center that in front, but he fans on the pass. And he loses control of the puck to Husted. Husted couldn't dump the puck out as it kept in by Malone at the blue line. 50 seconds left. Turcotte has it on his forehand side, cutting through the middle up to the point. TDD pass Malone, trying to settle that puck down. Now comes over to Barry. Barry with the point shot on, ends up being blocked by the knee of Plur, but he can't clear it out. 2 missed attempts on the clear out for Arizona State, and they're still tired out here. Now with 30 seconds left, and they're finally able to get it down on their third try. Williams settles that puck behind his own net. Uses it for Sachs, but Sachs with a poor breakout pass. But doesn't go all the way down for an icing, but Kowalczuk's able to clear it down for Arizona State. Hoffenkamp in on the forecheck. Get control of it, get some help from Larson. Larson with that shot on, ends up having to be sticked up into the netting by the goaltender Lagunier. Two minutes and change left in this first period. It's a 1-0 UNLV lead. Arizona State has killed off the remainder of that 5-on-4 power play for UNLV, and I think they did so in a way that they can possibly get some more momentum for themselves going into this rest of the game. Kowalczuk keeps that puck in. Shaw trying to use his big frame. Kowalczuk stepping up and pinching, but that puck evades him and he'll go out into the neutral zone. Trying to handle that pass into the zone was Chambers. He ends up getting shown to the boards. UNLV now allowed to break out of their own zone. It ends up being deemed an icing call as Tristan Mayer thought he gained over the center ice line to get that redirection, but unfortunately it wasn't, and UNLV now have to deal with a defensive zone draw with a few tired guys out there. Husted wins the draw. Puck can't be kept in. DeAndre John hustling for it. He'll be the first one to get there. Mayer with the wind-up clapper ends up being saved by Severson. At the point, Williams, shot on as Severson was able to track that with his glove hand and snag it with 1 minute and 30 seconds left. Have to be pretty happy so far if you are a UNLV fan watching tonight, as they've really had a complete 20 minutes so far in this game. Have been able to dictate the tempo of play. Lackey couldn't get the puck. Havner chopping at it. Asaf was there to get there first for the Rebels. DeMizio trying to truck his way through in the offensive zone. Kowalczuk with the high area pass, just out of reach of Lackey, but he's able to beat out the icing call. Lagunier is able to use his stick and clear it all the way out to relieve some pressure. Manning at the blue line. The losing out to Havner and ends up tripping Havner in the process, battling for that puck. And not the greatest time to take a penalty either in the first 60 seconds of a period or near the end of it. And Manning, with some disbelief on his face, has to go to the sin bin. Arizona State, if they can possibly pop one in here with this 55 seconds left on the man advantage, could change the narrative of this first period. Lackey at the point, walking the line to Husted. Plurd trying to gain some space. Now over to Husted. Husted on his backhand side. Kowalczuk Husted some one-touch passing, but in the skates of Lackey, and he has to fight and retrieve that puck. UNLV digging for it. Rebels do just enough to get that puck into the neutral zone. Under 30 seconds left in the period. Kowalchuk with a pass at the blue line ends up putting his teammates offside. Faceoff's going to be out into the neutral zone outside of the Arizona State offensive end. Kowalchuk to Lackey. Puck's not really settling down too much. It'll find Husted. Husted entering in the zone. Area pass to himself. Trying to protect the puck. About 5 seconds left. Ends up being cleared by Mayer, and that'll do it for the end of this first period. Sun Devils are going to have about 1 minute and 5 seconds remaining on that man advantage in the carryover into the second period. But after these 20 minutes, it's all been UNLV so far dictating the play, and they come out with it with a 1-goal lead. And we'll be back in just about 15 minutes to bring you second period action here on Arizona State Hockey YouTube. And we'll welcome you back to second period action here on Arizona State Hockey YouTube. I'm Brett Vaughn. And welcome in my partner, Jack Johnson. Jack, great to have you with us today.
Thank you, Brett. Good to be up here.
As the second period has started, Arizona State continuing in on that man advantage now for just about 50 seconds left on it. UNLV trying to get to it, air and clear. Sun Devils centering that puck in front. Porter with it, trying to protect the puck. Throwing it down low. Shaw leaves it for Studioso. Studioso crossing pass to Porter. Porter threw a shot on, and Shaw's tip redirects out of the way of the net. Puck gets deflected up into the air and out of play.
Really liked how ASU was able to keep the puck in the zone there the entire time. I just want to see a little more patience from the team when they're in the attacking zone on the power play. It'll allow them to develop a lot more clean chances.
Just about 23 seconds left on this opportunity. Draw win by Husted. Puck gets dumped in and kept in by Lackey. Sat there for UNLV, can't clear. Lackey, maybe a little too fancy and won too many passes. And that'll allow the UNLV to clear. Kane Tarumi. Tarumi, just out of the reach of his line mate Turcotte. Husted having to fight him off in his own defensive zone. And we're back to even strength. Ended up being a tip by Elliot Plurd, and it'll go for an icing call.
Yeah, something that I noticed when ASU had it back in the offensive zone, Brett, Zachary Kowalchuk just probably got a little bit too fancy with the pass, maybe had an open lane to put that shot on net. And definitely when you have those open chances from the top of the point, you got to take them.
Yeah, I think a little too much indecision there for Arizona State, not really being able to get any chances. Now they're going to have to defend in their own zone. Tarumi there for the Rebels. They're trying to fight out of the corner. Tarumi has it now behind the net. Great tenacity shown by the centerman Husted, and he skates the puck out of his zone. Poor pass, intercepted by Tarumi, and UNLV goes back in on the forecheck. Sachs center that in front, and Tarumi's hard work almost paid off, but he fanned on the one-timer opportunity. Looks like we're also going to be having a tripping call, and Jack, did you see who was that awarded to?
I did not, but something that I want to go back to, Brett, that play in front of the net for UNLV, that was a great job by the ASU defense right there. Getting the stick down in front of the puck, they had a clear shot at a fine goal. It would have made the score 2-0, but instead, good job of the ASU defense staying alert in front of the crease.
Actually ends up being UNLV taking a penalty in the offensive zone, as Turcotte's caught for tripping, and it'll be Arizona State's first power play of the game. Shaw trying to win that draw forward. Hosworth keeps it in for Arizona State at the point. Porter walking it up. Hosworth slides it on over for Studioso. Shaw. UNLV keeping the puck out to the perimeter. Studioso trying to walk in now. Hosworth keeps it in. Trying to center that puck in front. Ends up being intercepted by the Rebels and cleared. Could be an opportunity on the breakaway, though. Mayer trying to get to that puck early enough as the intervention from the goaltender Severson keeps it at bay.
Yeah, need a lot more mustard on those passes in the attacking zone for ASU. They're just trying to get too finesse with those passes. They need to get them across.
Osworth slows it down behind his own net. Now centers that over to Chambers. Chambers puts on the brakes. Chambers does it once more. Now up to the key. Hosworth gets his point shot blocked away by Polonsky, and he'll do it all himself and clear it down. Arizona State waiting to finish the change, and they finally do, as Kowalchuk's stationary in his own zone. He now elects to be active. Kowalchuk finding Havner. Havner with the area chip to Lackey. Lackey tighten around the corner. Cycles it back down. Plurd eats a check. Havner with the no-look pass gets intercepted by Malone and sent down all the way.
Yeah, you got to be able to shoot those passes up to the point.
Yeah, I think we're noticing a little bit in that period, Arizona State not really having the snappiness so far.
Yeah, they're definitely doing a good job, Brett, generating the offensive chances, but they just have to pass with more confidence to set up the opportunities. Here's a good pass.
Lackey at the point, the wrist shot on as Lagonier is able to snag that, although it was going wide, and UNLV has killed off that tripping call.
Yeah, but you like to see that from Clayton Lackey. Put a shot on net. You know, give your team a chance. A rebound comes out. You can crowd the crease and maybe get a punch-in goal. Tie this game up.
Yeah, I think that might be the way Arizona State has to come back in this game, down a goal. It's got to be something a little dirty, possibly in front of the net, a second chance opportunity. Draw one forward as Hoffenkamp was testing the goaltender Lagonier to make sure he was awake, and he was able to freeze it.
And even though ASU's had a couple chances in the attacking zone so far in this second period, Brett, it all comes down to if they can keep it in the zone and get their offense set up.
ASU can control it. UNLV now with speed. Manning ends up losing control of the puck and goes begging, a great opportunity for him. Demon ends up being taken down in the middle of the ice. Rebels coming back in. It's a 3-on-2. DeMizio drops it back down, and the wrist shot on, and that was blocked. Ended up being Ryan Lanford for Arizona State.
A good job by Lanford laying out the body there.
UNLV trying to cycle that puck down around. DeMizio trying to deke away around Demon, but Demon returns the physicality. Now allows a 2-on-1 opportunity for the Sun Devils. Broken shot on, and they score! Timothy Hoffenkamp, following up a great game last night, ends up having a broken pass to him, but he does just enough on the backhand side to beat the goaltender Lagonier, and it's 1-1.
Yeah, Timothy Hoffenkamp out of Bridgeview, Illinois, Brett, and that was a good job staying with the play. The pass got tipped in front, but he kept his stick on the puck and was able to put it 5-hole with the backhand wrister.
Didn't really seem that much momentum was going on for Arizona State, but taking advantage of a fortunate break as it was Alex Searing with that assist to Hoffenkamp, and things might be able to turn around for the Sun Devils.
One thing to be proud of for ASU, Brett, good job staying composed when you have two power play chances slide away early in the period. They stayed within themselves, and they're able to tie up this game 1-1.
UNLV now trying to get in the offensive zone, but it gets taken away by Chambers. Jet Larson dumps it all the way down deep. Sun Devils, you can sense, have a little more life out there and energy. Moeller. John Moeller passes it back down, centering that pass as it gets taken away by the defenseman Slavic, and he'll chip it out into the neutral zone. Shaw at the end of his shift just intercepts the pass, and we'll go for the change. Jet Larson on the one-man forecheck, able to keep it pinned down in the offensive zone. Turcotte's able to help out his defenseman, and he'll stop it behind the net.
Yeah, great job by Larson holding up the UNLV attack there. ASU was slow to change, but a good job. 1-on-3 to hold him tight.
Turcotte coming into short angle shot. That's kicked away by Severson. Aaron breakout pass, Tarumi. Turcotte with the snapshot on, ends up handcuffing the goaltender Severson, but he makes the save.
A good job by Severton. Brett staying with the play. He kept his eyes on the puck handler the whole time and able to just slide across, make an easy blocker save.
Arizona State has to mind their P's and Q's a little bit more in their own zone, as that chance was caused by a turnover.
Yeah, definitely you don't like the carelessness, but in terms of time of possession on sides of the ice right now, it's pretty much been 80-20 ASU. They're doing a good job controlling the puck.
Draw one by Sachs. Polonsky at the point. He'll just elect to chip it down deep. Turcotte again, trying to center that in front. Having a stick there was Damon Porter, and Sun Devils were able to clear it.
Yeah, Porter doing exactly like they coach him. Keep your stick down inside the passing lane. Don't let anything get under your stick.
Sachs gains the center ice line. Tarumi there on the forecheck for the Rebels. Kowalczyk helps his defensive partner out. Trying to dump that in, but it gets kept in by UNLV. Looks like we have some activity going on
Yeah,
at
we
the
got an
other
injured
side
player.
of the ice.
We got an injured player. Took a shot down on the near side of the ice in the ASU zone. Looks to me like it's number 17, Brett.
Yeah, Kane Tarumi, it looks like both of them got tangled up there, and for Arizona State it was Ryan Lanfer.
And so Lanfer will go to the box, and he's not one bit happy about it.
Looks like Tarumi, it looks like both of them got tangled up, and we're going to have some open ice action 4-on-4 now for both teams, and it really helped UNLV last night to possibly get some momentum going and use their speed with less men out there on the ice.
Yeah, definitely. One thing I really like about ASU, though, they're finishing off their checks. I saw one happen in the other corner with Porter. Good check there. You want to keep that physicality through the remainder of the game.
Faceoff's going to be in the Arizona State zone. Point shot by Williams. Ends up being kept on the other side by Asaf. Asaf looking for the redirection on the shot. Puck still loose in front. Havner now. Aaron pass by Jack Hosworth, though, and he'll go down for an icing call.
You know, and Brett, something I noticed, especially on that particular ASU defensive possession, Kowalczuk's got to keep his head up when he's looking for a pass. You know, too many times he's just trying to feel out the pass, and it's led to a turnover. Keep your head up, find your player, and make a confident pass. Let's see if he does it this time.
Kowalczyk with his head up. So getting that breakout pass intercepted by Asaf, and they'll have to regroup again. 30 seconds has expired on this 4-on-4 opportunity. Havner on the far side. He ends up slowing the play down. Havner has to get rid of it quick. Shot ends up getting blocked by the skate blade of Demizio, and he'll turn it back around in his own zone. Demizio fighting off a couple checkers, protecting it with his body. Now coming to the other side, communicating with the defenseman. Now he'll leave it there for Mazzillo. Mazzillo works it onto the right side. UNLV trying to finish off a change, but ends up being kept in by the man coming off the bench. That time was Barry.
Yeah, both teams suffering from a severe lack of communication right now. Just passes soaring in directions where nobody's standing.
Malone, one-touch pass. With the wrist shot on was Flanders, but it ends up getting redirected by a defenseman's stick and out of play.
And just as soon as I say that, Brett, a confident attack there by Las Vegas to get inside the ASU zone. But a good job by ASU getting their stick once again in the shooting lane and getting that one blocked.
So far in the second period, it's the only scoring has been from Arizona State as they ended up tying this game up, courtesy of Timothy Hoffenkamp at 1. Connor Kruk being harassed by Kirk Underwood. Now Arizona State finally to break it out. Lackey leaves it for Plurd. Plurd getting around Mazzillo, but he loses control of the puck out to that defenseman. Mazzillo now slowing the play down. Just about 5 seconds left of 4-on-4 hockey, and we're back to even strength. Mazzillo with the puck on his forehand, looking for that redirection, and it was a tough one for Severson, able to react to that chip. Arizona State ends up going offside, and they have to touch up. Underwood able to squeeze his way through. Ends up getting bunched up into the boards. Damon John there trying to help his teammate out. Point shot ends up going wide. Centered out in front by Mayer. Arizona State a little tired right now in their own zone.
Well, especially Lanfer, he just checked onto the ice after a long shift before his stint in the penalty box.
Arizona State trying to clear it out again, kept in by Polonsky for the Rebels. Hustling forward on the other side is Kruk. Kruk is trying to pin that puck up there, trying to give him and some of his teammates a breather. Puck not moving yet. Referees yelling for some action or else they're going to blow it down. Puck comes up to the point now. Wrist shot on. Severson trying to find it. Ends up getting some help by his defenseman Kruk and gets the whistle.
Yeah, good job by Kruk, and that's something I want to see as this game develops for Arizona State. Communication. He did a nice job communicating. It's right behind you. It's between your legs. Reach back, and you're able to make the save. Something that they've been lacking, especially in passes in their own zone so far in this period, Brett.
And for how fast hockey is, communication is such an integral part in terms of a winning team.
Absolutely. I mean, you have to communicate in order to start an attack.
Plonsky now for UNLV. The wrist shot on. Severson's able to gobble that up. No traffic in his line of sight, and he's able to make the save.
You know, and that's something because in football, you know, you can break down a play. Everyone understands what they're running. In hockey, it's so much more free-flowing that you have to communicate because people aren't going to be on the same page with you every time.
Shot on from Sachs goes wide. UNLV's had a good, strong spell of about 3 or 4 minutes in this Arizona State end.
And nice job by Braden Shaw finishing his check there on the far side. Love the physicality.
Puck ends up being whistled down. Referee's helping out one of the linesmen as the puck's going to be drawn outside of the offensive zone for UNLV. It'll be Chambers and Nick Flanders out in the neutral zone. Draw one by Flanders. The Staff gets it from his defensive partner, and he'll go for the cross-corner dump. Kowalczyk trying to find it. They're losing out to Flanders. Flanders trying to center that in front. Shaw was able to cover that high slot and clear it. Severson letting that slow rolling puck come to him, and he'll leave it for his defenseman Kowalczyk. ASU working both sides. Shaw's able to get a chip in, but he wasn't able to gain the center ice line, and goes for an icing call.
You know, this game has been all about momentum swings, and that's typically every hockey game, is that it'll swing back and forth. Right now, ASU, they've got to get under control. They got to stay composed right now because I definitely can sense this momentum swinging back in the favor of the Rebels.
Yeah, it does have a similar feeling like it did in the first period when UNLV got their only goal of the game. Hard chip off the glass. Icing's waved off by the linesman. Williams rims it all the way around to the weak side. UNLV is able to break it out. Chipping it past is Nick Flanders. Opportunity for UNLV on the rush. Flanders sends that in front. And the shot from Manning didn't come in time as the net was dislodged, and the goal will not count.
About as fortunate as you can get for the Arizona State defense. Far too aggressive there by Havener, going up trying with the stick check before they even crossed the blue line. ASU, they were left defenseless there for a second. They were rescued by the goalpost being wedged loose. They need to clear here, Brett. They need to get set up in the UNLV zone.
Yeah,
Can't be hanging around in your own zone too much.
Again, Sun Devils have been really pent up with all this pressure in this middle stage of the second period. Malone now. Centering in front, goes all the way to the point. Point shot on, gets skated away, and Mueller now with the UNLV player trying to find it. Arizona State might have some time, but the high chip off the glass goes out of play, but I think it'll allow a change for those tired Sun Devils.
Yeah, it will. That's an Oceanside play there, Brett. You know, with the nets hanging as low as they do, any other arena, you're going to be able to get that the puck out to center ice, but not at Oceanside. So you got to keep it low, got to keep it about eye level, and that's been a struggle for ASU. They've been stuck in their own zone for the better part of 3 minutes now.
Hoffenkamp talking with some of his line mates on where he wants them to be positioned off the draw. They're able to break out. Searing's able to chip it down for Demon. Demon gets ridden into the boards by Mazzillo, but UNLV doesn't spend too much time in their defensive zone, and now coming in with speed in the offensive zone is Malone. Malone starting that puck in front as it took a fortuitous bounce. It ends up going past the goaltender Severson, and UNLV restore their 1-goal lead.
Yeah, Severson just didn't do a good job keeping his left pad pinned against the goalpost, and it looked like it might have chipped off his left pad and into the back of the net. That was one of those that they were just looking to get it towards the crease and get an opportunity on a rebound. Fortuitous bounce, like you mentioned, trickling into the net. 2-1 UNLV.
Yeah, again, You might say that's a lucky bounce, but I think it's something, again, like in the first period UNLV had when they were getting their goal. There's a lot of sustained zone time in the offensive zone, and ditto here.
You could say exactly fortuitous bounce, but that was preluded by 5 minutes of intense attacking zone action from UNLV. They earned that goal with the pressure they had applied before.
Porter trying to tie it up. His pass in front gets blocked away a couple of times by the defenseman Mazzillo. UNLV again. Wrist shot on. Severson trying to fight off that rebound. Puck still loose. Weak backhand shot ends up being saved on the crest of Severson.
Brett, they had a chance for a wicked one-timer there if they had just chipped it back up. They had a guy setting up at the point ready for a vicious one-timer. He just didn't see him. That's one thing that we keep mentioning, communication. He's got to say, I'm here, I'm right behind you, I'm wide open for the one-timer chance. Didn't hear it. Instead, a weak backhanded shot on net.
UNLV wins the draw. Another point shot. This time it ends up getting blocked. Arizona State trying to race out of their own zone. Husted couldn't get there. Looks like Damon John's hopping around. I think he might have lost a skate blade. Play's finally able to be stopped as he's sitting down, and it looks like it's just that as one of the linesmen picks up his skate steal.
That has got to be the first time I've ever seen that. In all my years of watching hockey, Brett, I've never seen a skate blade come off. Interesting because he was hobbling around. It's definitely fascinating to see. Without the skate blade, they can't skate at all just because of the unevenness with their skates on the ice.
Yeah, unfortunately, I've been there a few too many times, and it's just such a hopeless feeling of you being used to skating so much, and now all of a sudden, once you just lose one blade, you can't really do much.
Well, that's the thing is, you got all the padding on, you got the helmet, you got the stick, but your only connection to the ice physically is the blades.
Draw one by UNLV, hard rim by Williams. Does end up getting past by the defenseman Kowalchuk. Tarumi trying to get that puck in deep for UNLV. Husted drops it back down to defenseman Kowalchuk. Husted behind the back pass. Nobody there for ASU. Throws it down deep, Plurd. Couldn't get a handle on it. Puck still around. Husted trying to center that in front, but gets up, caught up in the skates of Lackey. Rebels coming in now. Sachs on his forehand side. Sachs, the shot on, ends up getting sticked away by Severson. Lackey intercepts that second chance opportunity pass. Game starting to open up a little bit.
Yeah, absolutely, Brett. They got their skating legs under them. It took them 13 minutes, but it's back in fourth action now. Icing for UNLV will come all the way back into their own zone.
Missed opportunity for the Rebels as the Sun Devils' defensive pair were tired, and with that long change, could have been a 2-on-1 opportunity for Tarumi, but it was just a poor pass by the defense of UNLV.
And just an observation that I have, the style earlier in the period, a little more gritty, a little more grinded out. Now it's opened up. It's a fast-paced track meet style kind of hockey game right now, and I think that really suits UNLV's style.
Another hard rim by Williams. ASU has to touch up. Williams gets it right back to his partner, Asaf. Skating through. Chip is able to find his winger, Turcotte, but he enters in the zone illegally and offside.
I think if ASU wants to get back in this game and tie it up, Brett, they got to get back to that slugfest mentality, win each battle, win each check, win each race to the puck, because that's what they were doing earlier in the period. Right now they're getting UNLV too spread out, and they're able to poke through those defensive holes that they're allowing in their own zone.
Draw one by Flanders. Manning now for the Rebels. Manning over to the other side, and it was a howitzer of a shot by DeMizio, and UNLV now takes a 2-goal lead.
I like the howitzer call, Brett, because that was an absolute snipe going from the left side right there by the circle all the way up top shelf right over the glove of the goaltender for ASU. And UNLV, they set up another goal. They had earned that by 5 minutes of intense pressure. Right now, ASU, they're reeling a little bit. They got to get back to their style of play if they want to get back in this game.
Yeah, ended up being some miscommunication in the defensive zone, and Manning was able to just delay enough time for his line mate DeMizio to walk right in and just roof one on the goaltender Severson. ASU Trying to claw their way back into this game.
That's off.
Lagunier was trying to push off of one of the posts, ends up dislodging the net. But in any case, it is a positive for Arizona State, as the zone draw will be in the offensive side of things.
Well, Brett, if you want to break down the ice rink right now into thirds, right now, ASU, they're doing an okay job in the attacking zone. They're doing an okay job defending their own zone. But the middle of the ice, absolutely dominated by the guys in the black jerseys right now. They're getting across the middle of the ice with almost no resistance.
And for how fast the game of hockey is, that's where you build up most of your speed coming out of your defensive and in the offensive zone, and that's really allowing the pressure to be put on ASU's side of things.
Absolutely. They're going uncontested through that 20-yard stretch. ASU's got to put the clamps on right there.
Kowalchuk looking for that shot pass redirection, is out of the reach of Studioso. Rebels now have opportunity. Manning dumps that puck in. Ends up finding Demizio, the most recent goal scorer for UNLV. Puck gets intercepted on the stretch pass for Havner. Could be another opportunity. It'll find Studioso. Studioso trying to windmill his way around the defenseman Barry, but he just snuffed that one out.
Love the deke move, though. He knew that was his only chance, was to slip inside of the defender.
UNLV, a hard pass. A little too inaccurate, though, and it'll end up being an icing call with 5:24 left.
And definitely a sign of respect there from number 14, Jake Barry, when he was talking to Studioso. Just gave him a little bit of a tap with the stick, said, that was a nice effort. You almost had me, but I was able to get the stick down in front.
Again, Arizona State, not too much action in the offensive zone in this second period, but they're only down 2 goals. Draw one by UNLV. Another hard rim around. Ends up being negated on the icing call. Lackey trying to turn his way, but he ends up spilling a tire behind the net. Another center in front. Mulder trying to slow that puck down. Puck centered out in front, and that's ends up being kicked away. And Lagunier is going to play it behind his net. Almost taken away by Husted. Down to Plurd. Plurd with that snapshot on ends up being sticked away, and the Sun Devils almost made something out of nothing due to the hustle of Husted.
Yeah, Husted there with a great forecheck. I don't think UNLV was expecting such an aggressive forecheck because ASU, they've been back on their heels pretty much for the past 10 minutes. Finally, some aggressiveness being shown by Arizona State here.
That Husted line will stay out for ASU. Him and Turcotte in the circle. Plurd goes for another quick shot, but ends up getting ramped up and out of play. Hopefully in terms of getting that wave of momentum towards ASU's side, this line out there right now for the Sun Devils with Lackey, Husted, and Plurd has been doing so. Husted trying to deke it out of his guy's skates. He centers that one in front. Couldn't get to Plurd. Puck's on the back of the apron of the net. Ends up being ramped up and out of play. And looks like we're going to have the face-off outside due to an ASU intervention on the puck.
And you know, as much as I've been preaching aggressiveness from the Sun Devils in this period, you still have to be patient. It's something I call aggressive patience. You have to be looking those opportunities, and when you find them, be aggressive. But you still have to be patient to set them up. You just can't go hog wild and chase after these goals because you'll get countered on the back end.
Kowalchuk has a broken pass, ends up finding Husted. Husted winds one up, but he misses it wide. Another quick shot on, and the redirection from Plurd on the point shot from the defenseman Slavic almost found its way into the cage. Husted again. Husted trying to send that in front of Lackey. Ends up being sticked away. Slavic gets help from his defensive partner, Kowalchuk. UNLV had to touch up there, and ASU now goes for a change. High touch by Asaf as play resumes. Hoffenkamp centers that in front, but Lackey was not expecting the pass. Plurd. Over to Kruk, Hoffenkamp. Over to Lackey, but he's near the end of his shift and a little gassed.
Oh, you can tell Lackey was near the end of his shift there. He was barely striding, chasing after that puck. Needs to get off the ice here. They need to get it changed, but they need to get it inside the UNLV zone to be able to do so.
Erickson will chip it in deep. Osworth trying to race to it with Mayer. Moeller now. Moeller trying to fend off Kruk. Kruk shows him the boards. Working in the corner. Hoffenkamp, as two UNLV players were there. Wasn't getting any help from any of his teammates, Hoffenkamp was. He's not able to find the breakout exit pass, and he just shoots that on Lagunier, and they force him to freeze it.
Well, UNLV, they certainly had their chances in the middle of the period, and they connected. Now it's time for ASU. It seems like they're starting to settle this game down a little bit and play a little more inside their style. Let's see if they can't get one back before the end of the period.
Hoffenkamp wins a drop to the point. Can't be kept in. It's now a one-on-one opportunity. Moeller hitting the brakes. Wrist shot on, and his shot ends up being the goaltender Severson, but not the post. Puck almost dying in on the blue line there. They'll now find Hoffenkamp. Hoffenkamp trying to protect the puck with Berry on him. They'll now come to Demon. Demon loses out to it. Poor clear. Kowalchuk keeps it in for the Sun Devils, and Searing had the puck on his stick for just a moment but couldn't corral it. UNLV on the transition. Underwood passes it off. Saved by Severson. Rebounds taken away by ASU. Hetzel getting pressured by the ASU forward Chambers. Still trying to fight off the forecheck. Well, now find Turcotte, but he's denied entry into the zone, but they're still onside. A dribbler of a shot misses wide of the net. Hard chip off the glass as ASU just did just enough. Now they're in on the offensive side. Shaw can release that puck as Turcotte ends up shoving him into the corner. Down low in the corner, Shaw's working for it for Arizona State. But UNLV comes out with it. Flanders, the Florida native, cutting through the middle. Flanders ends up not able to get around Osworth, and he gets thrown down to the ice. Now it could be a 2-on-1 opportunity for ASU. Porter. Porter with the snapshot on. Big save by Lagunier just to get the glove on it. Under 60 seconds left in the second period. And the chop puck from the defenseman Lanford goes out of play. And I'll take a breather.
One thing I really like seeing out of Arizona State on that sequence, Brett, they kept their stick slow in the middle of the ice. That section where I said they were getting dominated earlier, they're still getting dominated in terms of speed, but they're keeping their sticks low. They're using their bodies and their sticks a little bit much to filter up the passing lane.
Under 50 seconds left, Manning. One too many dekes at the blue line, and he enters in the zone illegally. Draw one by UNLV, again on the attack. Puck bouncing around dangerously in front of the net of Severson. Kowalchuk able to break the puck out. Studioso at a standstill, has to move the puck quick, and the back-checking Sachs ends up getting him on the hit, but the back referee ends up seeing an infraction happen.
Studioso's got to do a much better job of keeping his cool there, Brett. I know he got thrown down to the ice there on that particular play, but he got up and tried to slash the opponent. You can't answer violence with violence there because you're going to cost your team, especially when you're down 3-1.
Definitely that's the case. It looks like ASU will have the power play, though, as they have about 31 seconds to possibly take advantage before the end of this period. Draw one by Plurd. Lackey on the other side. Houston loses control of the puck and it gets sticked all the way out into the neutral zone and they have to clear. Cleared on the button hook. Getting ridden down by Mayers. Ends up losing an edge. Mayer does just enough to just feed that one past Houston legs. ASU has to slow it down.
Brett, Houston's got to do a much better job of getting his body in front of that instead of trying to knock it down with his stick. If he's able to keep his body in front, he'll be able to knock it down, keep it in.
And with that, we'll have the end of our second period here at Oceanside Ice Arena. As UNLV really dictated most of the period, ASU got that Hoffenkamp goal in the middle of it to go against the run of play, but ASU still has some work ahead of them in this third period coming up.
Yeah, certainly when you look down at the breakdown of momentum in this period, first 5 minutes belong to the Sun Devils. The rest of that, UNLV, they had control for most of this period, especially the last 15 minutes. And really the difference maker for me, they were able to go through the middle of the ice uncontested every time, and that's where they were able to get the momentum charged to be able to get into the attacking zone of Arizona State and generate those chances that allowed 2 of their goals.
Well, folks, at the end of 2, it's UNLV 3, Arizona State 1. Come back in about 15 minutes, and we'll bring you third period action for the final home game of the weekend for Arizona State's Division I team here on Arizona State Hockey YouTube. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Arizona State Hockey YouTube's presentation of Division I men's ice hockey. I'm Brett Vaughn here alongside my partner, Peyton Galler. And Peyton, you were watching that second period. What did you take from it?
Well, it's very wide open throughout, especially the last 10 minutes of play. Not a lot of power plays. ASU will start this period on one, trailing by 2 goals. A great opportunity with a man advantage to try and cut into this lead here at the start of the third.
ASU on the offensive starting this third period. Now up at the point, Kowalchuk. One-timer shot from Lackey ends up being deflected up in the air by Lagunier.
Well, and that's what you want there in the power play. You want to put shots on goal, make the goalkeeper stretch, make him work. You never know when something's going to ricochet, even from distance like that, into the path of an ASU player going towards goal, and he gets slotted in as they try to chase this 2-goal advantage that UNLV has.
Sun Devils are on the man advantage, about 50 seconds left on it, and that point shot ends up getting dangerously redirected. It looked like by a UNLV forward, but the goaltender Lagunier was able to find it.
And Lagunier has done a good job tonight. Don't let the 1 goal on the score line deceive you. He's been active throughout the first 2 periods of play so far, and as ASU starts to get more and more desperate, throwing numbers forward to try and cut into this lead throughout this third period, expect him to get more and more active.
Havner couldn't handle the puck, and Arizona State's have to retrieve it back in their own end. Kowalchuk elects to take it behind his own net and allow for his wingers to swing.
30 seconds left on the power play here, trying to stretch the Rebels out.
Houston puts on the brakes. Ice a little wet, and that puck just stayed there for him. Havner trying to hit that cross-ice pass, ends up getting blocked away. Plird down the corner, and the sprawling kick save by the defenseman Hosworth was not able to keep the puck in, and that'll do for their power play opportunity.
Very nice penalty kill by UNLV. Never panicked in that situation. Resolute in front of goal, made a shell right in front of their pipes, and were able to get out of it unscathed.
Offenkamp trying to center that in front. It'll come to Porter. Porter centers that one in front, but Tarumi will able to take it away. Tarumi. Aerial pass finds Malone. Malone trying to reach forward. He centers that one in front. Severson's able to find the puck and cover it up.
Really nice feed there in the center of the ice to set up that break and create a shot. UNLV strikes right back as soon as they got 5 guys on the ice and create some offense for themselves.
Yeah, I think a little better start to the period for Arizona State, knowing they're down 2 goals right now. Draw win by UNLV. Centers that puck up in front again, taken away by the centerman Porter. Studioso pins the puck up against the kick plate. Now played over to Zachary T, the defenseman. Cross-ice pass gets deflected down, coming to the crease of Lagunier, and he's able to freeze it.
And with ASU down 2 goals and with only 18 minutes or so left to play in the game, you don't want to press. That's when mistakes happen. But you want to have a sense of urgency, and you want to make the point every time you come down the ice to execute, execute, execute. So eventually you can put one in the back of the net, and if that happens, it's game on in a 1-goal game.
Yeah, really just try to be very economical with their chances each and every time when they're in the zone. UNLV wins the draw. Manning's able to deke his way through, backhand pass. Teed's able to intercept it. Manning with it now. He cycles it back up to the point. And the clap shot comes in. Rebound still loose in front, and UNLV puts home the rebound. Jason DeMizio, his second goal of the game, and it's 4-1 UNLV.
A goal scorer's goal as it was poached right from in front of the goalie for ASU off the rebound, well slotted up into that left upper 90, and that could be a potential backbreaker for ASU as they trail by a hat trick now.
Yeah, it was Jake Berry's point shot with that one-timer opportunity, and Severson made the first save, which is always a goaltender's job, but no teammates in front was able to clear that rebound. Arizona State with a taller mountain to climb now in this third period. John, cross-ice pass now to Mayer. Mayer able to keep the puck. He centers that in front, but no UNLV stick there. The defenseman Yoho moves on over now. Pluritt with the shot on. Lagunier is able to fight it off, and the Rebels go the other way. Mayer by himself, buying some time. He'll just go for the soft chip and go for a change. Asaf going D-to-D with Williams.
As ASU starts to throw themselves forward here in desperation, trying to get the goals they need to come back in this one, you're going to see the game open up even more. You're already starting to see it a little bit.
Williams a hard chip in. Turcotte down to Sachs. Sachs gets that puck away by Slavic. Now at the point. Turcotte's pass gets sticked away by Hosworth and goes out to the neutral zone. 16-10 left in this third period. 4-1 UNLV lead. Tarumi. Tarumi with a hard chip. Skating backwards in his own zone. Slavic finds a winger, Searing. Searing now gains a center ice line and goes for the cross ice chip. Plonsky has to hurry on the forward check to evade the Arizona State player. He ends up blowing a tire in the corner, but gets right back up. Sachs mishandles the puck for UNLV. Jeremy finally able to get the puck now. Offensive zone. Sachs with the snapshot on. Ends up getting by the block of the shin of Ryan Lanford for Arizona State.
UNLV has been so much more effective here in the center third of the ice throughout the early going of this third and final period. It's facilitated a lot of their goal-scoring opportunities in these fast-break situations as they've opened the game up for themselves and made a lot of their opportunities a lot easier than ASU has.
Yeah, and that's another glaring difference from last night's game as Arizona State was able to do a good job of plugging up that neutral zone to not allow UNLV's speed to make any impact onto the game. But for tonight's game, UNLV's been really able to have their way with them. Draw win by Moeller, another point shot on. Rebound still loose, and sprawling around his crease was Severson to do just enough to make that save.
Again, Severson asked to do a tall task there as he makes another save right there. Just not getting much help from his defenders as rebounds continue to be redirected on goal.
Up at the point, another point shot on. Severson's able to make the leg pad save. As it was Connor Hetzel, the Alaskan native, taking that shot.
Trying to go 5-hole there. Severson closed the door.
Draw's going to be to the left of the goaltender, Severson. Draw one by Porter. Studioso with his head up. He'll give it to Porter. Porter on his forehand. Porter with the wrist shot on, and he's going for that low left corner, but Lagunier's glove says no. Moeller. Poor pass, ends up putting his line mate Malone offside.
Just slightly off on the timing there as the pass got in front of the intended target before he could get into that final area, icing the call.
So both teams finish off a change. UNLV with a 3-goal lead in this third period. Rebels now with the puck. We'll come over to Flanders. Flanders on that right side. Asaf winds one up, takes a weird ricochet off the defenseman Kowalchuk, and Severson had to make a save.
Pinball in front of the goal, almost disaster. Crisis averted for the Sun Devils, at least for the time being.
Manning, another shot on as he walks his way through the front, saved by Severson. It's like a delayed penalty call on Arizona State. Puck still loose. Both teams scrambling for it. Havner is able to touch that puck, and we'll have a whistle.
How about Severson there, standing on his head a little bit, made 3, 4, maybe even 5 saves, and now he's going to have to skate off, maybe to get some of his equipment checked out, at least for the moment.
Yeah, I usually see those type of pinball bounces over at the Dave & Buster's over here at Tempe Marketplace rather than on the ice rink, but that was a very athletic save by the goaltender.
Not a lot of time to react to that one. Probably even looked faster in real time. So he looked at that through his face cage, but a really nice save, as you mentioned, to react in short order to a bouncing puck in front of the goal.
Looks like UNLV also ended up taking a penalty as Manning got tagged, and we're going to have some 4-on-4 hockey in here in the third period. Osworth steps out. Backhand pass gets intercepted by Sachs. Sachs gets it right back from Turcotte. Sachs on the left side trying to toe drag around Hoffenkamp, but he's unable to. At the point, walking the line, Williams fires. Ends up missing the net. Asaf plays the rebound. Severson doesn't know where it is. Hoffenkamp's able to help him out. UNLV again applying the pressure in this third period.
ASU just looks a step behind at the moment, not out to close down on long shots, not there to pick up on rebounds. Again, the fatigue starting to set in a little bit as they've played for the second day in a row.
Osworth trying to do it himself, ends up losing the puck, and looks like it's going to be another call on Arizona State, as I think Osworth might be going to the box.
Could be seeing a 4-on-3 here.
Yeah, definitely a rare occurrence in hockey. It's going to be a cross-checking call, and I think we are going to have that occurrence, Peyton, for about 1 minute and 8 seconds.
Well, you see the 3-on-3 now in overtime at the NHL level, and people seem to love that. It really expedites the game, opens things up, and makes things a little bit more exciting. So for the time being, this could be a very interesting sequence to watch.
Who do you think this benefits more? Does it benefit UNLV more to have one less guy out there with a little more space?
I think it definitely benefits UNLV. 4-on-3, a lot of space to operate, but you do have the advantage of the extra man. They're just going to play around the area, cycle it. With only 3 guys, you can't really make the same kind of shell around the goal defensively that you would be able to with a 4-man power play.
Williams now entering the zone. Drops it back for Flanders. Flanders eats a check. Flanders still with the puck. Wheeling around. Goes over to Asaf. Asaf and Williams switch wings. Asaf backdoor on the shot, and a fan shot by Flanders. He had an open cage if he connected it right. Asaf again. Williams now the one-timer shot. As that looked like it might have been a late whistle, and looks like there's a little powwow behind the net of Severson after that.
A little bit of contact there. A player tried to poke it in after the whistle. That was not something that the ASU player liked very much, and there's an official tangled up in between everybody there, about 4 players discussing some things, maybe more so with their fists than with their words. And ASU will be down to 2 guys here, I think, after that. Or not.
Looks like it's going to be a slash on the goaltender for UNLV. And heading to the box is going to be number 11, Nick Flanders.
So now we'll go 3-on-3, I believe.
Yeah, exactly. I think we're just losing. They're dropping like flies out there tonight.
Yeah, so for the next 28 seconds until the first power play is eradicated on both teams, it is going to be 3-on-3 hockey here. And again, another opportunity for ASU as they bring the puck down to this end.
Still about 12:31 left in the third period. Arizona State just has to get something going towards the net here to change things. Draw won by Husted. Husted, tight turn, but ends up losing the puck and has to go and regroup. He gets it right back, though. Husted, oh, and he fans on the backhand shot as he had the goaltender log on the air down on his tuchus.
He had the open shot. It could have been a goal. He just got a little bit ahead of himself and didn't control it right in the face of net.
Now be Mazzillo, Hunter Mazzillo. He had a few nice toe drags last night, and he's trying to show off his skill. Looks like the puck's underneath him, and now it's finally blown down by the referee, as Arizona State was trying to loosen that puck free but wasn't unable to.
And now 4 players on the ice for both teams as the first power play has been nullified. No goals. Both teams, it seems like, have struggled today against the penalty kill for the opposition's number.
Yeah, it definitely has, and it's like it's going to be a delay of game call on Mazzillo, and have to feel for that scorekeeper down there. Hopefully they have enough pens to keep it going.
So ASU up 4-3 here. What you'd like to see is them work the puck around and try and take advantage of this man up that they've got. Not force anything. You got to play it like it's 0-0 until you get this first goal. Gives you a little bit of life.
Pass from Havner out of reach of Studioso, and Sun Devils have to touch up. Studioso again. Now at the point, Plurd to Havner. Havner back over to Plurd. Little miscommunication with him and Kowalchuk. Plurd again on the half wall. Moving around, Kowalchuk with a shot on, and he scores! Beautiful puck movement, and Kowalchuk ended up moving that puck to get a better shooting angle, and it paid off.
Exactly what you want to see. Everybody kept moving throughout the possession. Nobody standing still. Made it very hard on the defense. There was like a game of three-card Monty. Just trying to find the puck. Players moving around, shifting around. It's like trying to punch a waterfall. If you don't know what you're punching, it's just constantly moving. You can't really make a connection. The defense gets disorganized. It opens up a shot for ASU, and now they've cut the lead in half.
So after that power play goal for Arizona State, it's going to be 4-on-4 now. And maybe a little light at the end of the tunnel for the Sun Devils. Looks like possibly some issues with the scoreboard here at Oceanside Ice Arena as they're trying to get that solved up.
And ASU, after these next 13 seconds transpire, will be a man up, 2 men up actually, for the next 40 seconds of live game action, if the scoreboard withholds the actual correct information.
Yeah, Peyton, I wasn't the greatest math major, so I'm not sure I'm the expert here.
I'm in journalism, man. That is not my strong suit either. Words instead of numbers for me.
Broken draw win by UNLV. Barry. Now centered in front by Turcotte. He retrieves his pass. Puck throws back down in the corner.
And it looks like they wiped off one of the infractions for UNLV, so it will only be the one power play going on right here, 4-on-5 in favor of ASU.
I think UNLV is doing a great job right now as this abbreviated penalty kill is happening. Severson has to play it behind his net. Crook eats a check, but passes it over to Hosworth. Hosworth finds Plurd in stride. Plurd trying to deke his way in, but gets denied by Hetzel. Gets dumped down, and Severson has to play it again. And it looks like we're back to 5-on-5 hockey. Lackey has to spin around to evade the check of Williams, but he still falls down. Oh, and a big hit by Lackey. I didn't like that hit from John as a delayed penalty call is going to happen, and it looks like John, and it ended up being Studioso instead getting into it, and the whistle is blown.
Busted mass there, big collision. These teams clearly getting familiar with one another. And some blood coming from the forehead of that player there.
Yeah, it looks like DeAndre John, possibly the referees now are talking about it in the referees circle with 10-12 left. It looked like the penalty was initially possibly on Arizona State.
Could be a major here.
We also have some more action going on as the referees are trying to do a bit of damage control here in this third period.
Some words definitely being exchanged, pleasantries, if you will, between the men wearing stripes and the men wearing black.
We have a brief stoppage in play. We want to say thank you so much to everyone tuning in tonight on Arizona State Hockey YouTube, and make sure to hit that subscribe button to not miss out on any future Division I or even Division II games this year, as we're going to be having the Division II Arizona State hockey team versus San Jose State coming up at the conclusion of this one.
Discussion being had between the captains here right now. I think they just want to set the tone and make sure that we finish this game the right way. Nothing too unpleasant happening in between the next 10 minutes and 12 seconds in the end of this game.
So after all that, we still have 5-on-5 hockey here, Peyton.
Interesting decision there. I think ultimately what it came down to is they didn't want to penalize either team, both teams equally guilty of instigating that situation there. You want to punish the players, not the teams. And I'm not sure if those players will be allowed to return to the game or not.
Interesting to see how it's going to shake out for both teams. That was almost an abbreviated timeout in the middle of this third period.
Good chance for both teams to catch their breath a little bit. ASU's taking the momentum, at least in the most recent stages of the game, with about half the third period left to play. 2 goals not out of the realm of possibilities at all.
Osworth's trying to work his way there, but UNLV will collect the puck. It'll come to DeMizio. DeMizio, far side pass to the defenseman Williams. Williams trying to get a shot on it, misses wide, but it gets thrown out in front. Severson didn't know where it was, and possibly a quick whistle for UNLV as the referee blew it down because he lost sight.
ASU certainly thankful for that whistle blow.
It's going to be a face-off now for the Sun Devils in their own zone. Porter and Sachs. Pardon me, Flanders, and Flanders wins the draw for UNLV. Asaf keeps it in. The deflection from Flanders ends up getting blocked. Arizona State now takes it out and dumps it in the offensive zone. Lagonier has to play it behind his net. Able to release that pressure on the forecheck is UNLV. Puck's now out to the center ice line. The defenseman Lanfer trying to center that in front to one of his forwards, ends up getting blocked. UNLV trying to finish off a change that allow Arizona State to come out of the zone. Porter on the backhand, he passes it in front.
Oh.
Yeah, he had a couple Sun Devil players there.
Great chance for the Devils going to miss, and now they might get punished.
Winding up was Tarumi, but is able to be a shoulder save from Severson. Icing waved off, the Sun Devils go for a quick change.
Great opportunity for ASU to get a change on and get some fresh bodies on the ice.
Tarumi, he dumps it back down deep. Turcotte there to help him out, but he gets ridden to the boards by Slavic. Icing waved off. Husted forcing the goaltender Lagonier to turn it over.
Really good pressure from Husted.
Hosworth with the point shot on as there's a couple bodies in the way of the goaltender, but no one got a redirection on it, and we'll have a stoppage.
But a really great chance for ASU set up by the effort of Husted as he applied the pressure and forced the goaltender to play it out. ASU ends up on the right end of that and is able to get a shot away. Now they've got face-off and the chance to win this and set up an offensive chance.
Plonsky's getting harassed again by Husted. He's been in their back pocket so far on this shift.
ASU struggled a little bit, at least in the third period in the face-off circle.
Mayer gains the red line. Hetzel gets his pass interfered with. Malone with a quick one-timer shot, misses wide. We play to Teed. Teed gets his breakout pass blocked, but that second chance effort ends up getting it out of the zone. Rebels trying to slow the play down with a 4-2 lead in the middle of this third period. Losing out to the puck was Flanders as he's able to outwork some of the Sun Devils, and UNLV can go for a change. Sun Devils now will return the favor and get some fresh guys on the ice.
Next 2 or 3 minutes right here, crucial for ASU if they're to cut into this lead and give themselves a chance in the dying embers of this one. Big chance.
Hot pass for Demon. Demon stops and gets that shot on, and the goaltender had to be careful there, Lagunier, but he makes the save.
Lagunier gets big, takes away the angle, and now the Rebels are on the prowl.
Opening up now, and that shot ended up being blocked by Crook. End to end with under 7 minutes remaining in this third period. Chambers couldn't get past the Saf. It'll find Demizio. Demizio will dump that in hard and go for a change. Haven't had a whistle in this past couple minutes.
Great pass.
Cross ice pass. Porter coming in. Porter shooting.
What a save.
And he ended up drawing a penalty in the process. It's a hooking call, as Porter was able to beat the defenseman that time, Jake Berry, for the Rebels, and now Arizona State with the power play down 2.
How about that pass to set that up? Inch perfect, threading the needle right into the path of the offensive player for ASU, and a really good chance for the Devils here. Just clawing away. They refuse to say die in this third period.
Down 3 goals at one point in this third period, and looks like head coach Tate Green is signaling to the referee that he wants a timeout.
Wonder what the discussion here between Green and his players is in this timeout huddle. What do you think?
Yeah, I think it's going to be for them to be crucial to have a great opportunity with this man advantage. They already scored 1 goal already tonight on the power play, and they did look good last night in terms of puck movement. I think they're maybe a little more familiar and comfortable with themselves playing again tonight.
ASU did score the last time they were on the power play. That time, though, it was a 4v3 with a lot more open ice space. The strategy fascinating here as they come back out with the full roster, a full complement of players to try and attack this 4-man wall that UNLV will try to set up.
It's going to be Husted, Flurd, Havner, Kowalchuk, and Studioso out there for the Sun Devils. Draw to the left of Lagunier, won by Husted. Havner surveying Studioso, now the front. Husted was trying to get that shot off, but he couldn't release it. Now it's another shot that comes from Havner, but it goes over the cage.
ASU trying to parlay chaos by working the puck into the center of the ice so the defense contracts.
Slowing it down in the corners, Husted. Comes over to Kowalchuk. Kowalchuk now up to the point. Havner showing shot, throws it down to the half wall to Kowalchuk, gets it right back. Walks the line. Kowalchuk trying to go to that far side to find Studioso, but it wasn't in the vicinity. Kowalchuk again, looking again. This time it was for Havner, but it was out of reach for him.
Defense of the Rebels starting to get narrow here. ASU looking to work it from side to side.
Houston just able to keep it in. Working to the other side. UNLV has been able to keep the Sun Devils to the perimeter so far. Now at the point. Kowalchuk wants it. He fires! Sprawling around with a goaltender Lagunier, but it's cleared away by the Rebels.
The post bellows about as close as you can get as it deflects off the inside, and now the goaltender, Lagunier, is a little bit shaken. He sprawled out and really stretched to make a diving attempt at a save earlier in the power play. Hope he's all right. Could be a big development here, though, as UNLV will most likely be down to their second-string goaltender.
Yeah, it looks like the trainer's coming out for UNLV now. Looks like he's looking in the possible head area. I think he might have taken that shot from Kowalchuk in the mask.
Certainly could be. I didn't quite catch what happened there, but play was stopped as he pulled up, and obviously UNLV trying to make sure that their goaltender is all right. He's been so good here throughout this game.
Yeah, Lagunier had a decent night last night. I think he'd even say to us as well that this has probably been one of his better performances so far. He's back up and he's getting a round of applause here from the fans at Oceanside that came out tonight.
Of course, the stick taps from his own bench, and he's able to put the mask back on and maybe even stay in this game.
Yeah, it looks I think he's just getting a fresh drink of some H2O, and it looks like the trainer's heading back to the bench.
That's a good thing about hockey. In a lot of sports, if you pause play for an injury of a player, that player is forced to come out. Not in the sport, though. If the player is okay and deemed fit to continue, they're allowed to stay in without substitution.
Draw win by Chambers. Arizona State's second power play unit out now. Hosworth has to be careful with it as he's tight turning in his own zone. Studioso, cross-ice pass and finds Porter with speed. Porter dicing through the middle. Still has the puck. Now he turns on the brakes, but looks like the net ended up being dislodged and they have to whistle it down.
Not the first time it's happened tonight. A lot of action taking place in and around the net for both teams offensively as they try to crowd out these goaltenders, create some shooting lanes.
Looks like the back referee ends up being the net dislodged by an Arizona State player, and it's going to be out of their offensive zone.
Face-off. ASU has again struggled from the circle throughout this game. They win this time, though.
Draw one by Shaw. Shaw trying to get a handle on it. Finally does. Over to Chambers. Chambers getting ridded into the boards by Williams. Asaf and there are 3 UNLV players in that corner. It'll now fly out to Jared Erickson, and he can dump it all the way down and go for a change.
ASU really needs to get a goal here in the next couple minutes. They've been on the assault here offensively, but the power play is over and their advantage is gone now.
They come up empty. Quick shot on by Porter. Hosworth keeps it in. Puck bouncing around. UNLV will control it. But it gets turned over right away to Shaw. Shaw trying to fight off a couple checks from Plonsky. He can't. Sachs gets the puck stuck in his skates. Arizona State with the puck now. We're also seeing the defensive core for Arizona State being a little more aggressive in the offensive zone as Kowalczuk's down deep. One-timer opportunity. Puck still loose in front. Shaw's been taking a few checks in this shift of his, and he's probably going to be a little bit black and blue tomorrow.
As a lot of these players will be. It's been a hard-hitting affair and another big collision right there.
Looks like we're going to be having a penalty to Kane Tarumi as during that icing call, Kowalczuk ended up being pushed into the boards after the whistle was blown.
A little bit of pushing and shoving at the end of that play. All smiles from the ASU player, though. Relatively clean second period. The third period's been a lot more mucky as these teams have gotten more physical as the game's gone along.
Now the UNLV head boss, Anthony Vinieri Greeners, getting a quick explanation from the referee, but he does not like to see what his UNLV team is doing right now in terms of them trying to close out this game, but they keep giving ASU chances.
Well, ASU's got to capitalize on these, but it almost feels like in the third period, ASU's been on the power play more often than they haven't been.
UNLV centerman has to get kicked out of the circle. Fresh 2 minutes on the board for Arizona State to capitalize on the power play. Kept in by the skate of Kowalczuk. Kowalczuk
Nice
moves
save.
it over, and it's a beautiful save by Lagunier, and UNLV is able to clear it all the way down. 3 minutes and change in the third period. It's a 2-goal UNLV lead.
ASU's got to push the pace.
Kowalczuk trying to go for that far ice pass, and looks like one of the ASU players got dragged in a little early. It was cleared and goes offside.
I'm not sure anything intentional happened there. Well, as you said, I think you said it was an offside. Plurd tried to put the brakes on there. Thought there may have been some contact. Actually, in fact, it was just illegal inside play. Offside, I should say.
Draw one by Turcotte. Kowalczuk in his own zone. He's going to retreat back in. Arizona State's going to go for a controlled breakout. Studioso now on the left side. Finds Plurd. Plurd over to Havner with the wrist shot on. Dangerously in front of the rebound.
Goaltender burrowed himself into his own post and knocked the goal out of position.
Yeah, I think Lagunier was trying to react quickly as the lively boards here at Oceanside Ice Arena popped right out for an opportunity for Studioso, and he just couldn't get the trigger on it.
Regardless, ASU does get a chance here with a face-off coming from the left side on the attacking third as they take a timeout here and want to talk this over.
Yeah, about a minute and 9 seconds left for this opportunity for Arizona State. Tate Green looks like he's getting a explanation in terms of why the net keeps getting dislodged on that end from one of our referees tonight.
They've been active here. They don't get to come off. No line changes for the officials. They've had quite a cardiovascular workout trying to get in front of some of these conflicts that have happened here in the third period.
2:47 left. Arizona State needs to get something going in order to try and tie this hockey game up. Crowd's going to be to the right of the goaltender Lagunier. Turcotte's in the circle for the Rebels, and it's going to be Elliott Plurd for Arizona State. Draw one by Plurd. Plurd getting in there with Husted. Plonsky comes out with it, though, and with a hard clear, he doesn't get it all the way down, only to the neutral zone. Turcotte protecting the puck. It's getting a little feisty, and one of the arms gets raised by one of the referees.
Kind of a cynical foul there by the Rebel player to prevent a breakout opportunity for ASU as the player was skating away from him.
So it looked like it might be coincidental, as it's going to still be 5-on-4. Looks like the referees are signaling to both benches. So still 48 seconds left for Arizona State on this power play.
You feel if ASU is to get back in this game, they have to score in the next 45 seconds.
Chambers going in. Chambers right in the middle. Chambers had a few chances at it, but he just couldn't get the net.
Plenty of bites of the apple, just couldn't finish.
Puck down below. Shaw's in there for the Sun Devils.
Big hit.
Puck ends up getting rimmed back around. Shaw's trying to find it. Puck still loose behind. Asaf trying to get that puck out of his skates, but he can't. Jet Larson trying to center to that. Now up to the point. Porter gives it back to Larson. Larson, an errant pass, and that's going to allow the UNLV team to clear.
And that might have been the last gasp for ASU as you felt the air deflate out of this team and out of this building with that bad pass.
Kowalchuk. Hoffenkamp trying to get around Barry, but he can't. Sun Devils have to break it out again out of their own zone. Hoffenkamp waiting for guys to come off the bench. Area pass.
Entering the last minute now of play.
Under 60 seconds left. Barry for UNLV with a soft chip, and it's like we end up having a penalty being called on the backside of things, and it's Havner and possibly one that looks like Manning for UNLV getting after it behind the whistle.
The way this has been here in the third period, I'm not sure if UNLV doesn't know if they're in Phoenix, Arizona, or if they're at Fight Night in the MGM back home in Las Vegas.
Yeah, we saw a big scuffle last night late in that third period with UNLV down, and looks like ASU possibly might be returning the favor as we can hear both benches trying to speak a little bit of peace and wisdom to both of their players.
So with a minute left, you just want to get out of here cleanly, nothing too nasty at the very end.
So again, the referees are counseling with the captains of both teams, and looks like Arizona State's going to end up being tacked on with the penalty that's going to matter in terms of numbers on the ice. They're going to have to kill another penalty.
And an official bites the dust.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, that could be a good representation of how it's been for Arizona State tonight.
Yeah, the officials have been very active here in the third period. For ASU, that is kind of emblematic. They just have not been able to execute well enough in front of net to punish UNLV for some of the mistakes they've made, not been able to capitalize on the chances they've created, and that ultimately is what defines this game, as they are most likely going to drop this one to the Rebels of UNLV.
Puck's loose down in the corner. Getting there for UNLV is DeMizio.
Breakout chance.
Just get it over the blue line. UNLV touches up. Flanders finds Malone, and it's a blocker save by Severson, and he makes another save off the rebound from Mayer. 35 seconds left now. UNLV has a 3-on-2 developing. Flanders whiffs on the pass, but sells the puck, and he ends up getting a cold shoulder from Husted, as they both exchange words after that encounter.
More separating having to be done by the officials.
Husted and Sachs in a circle. Sachs was able to get a quick shot off the draw, but missed the net. Under 20 left, and that puck goes off the roof, and with a stoppage in play.
Well, Sun Devil fans, this one's not going to go your way, but at least your football team is starting to represent well, as a true freshman quarterback, Jaden Daniels, is matriculating the ball down the field, and ASU is on their way to potentially cutting into this three-point advantage Colorado has. Potential 4-0 start for ASU on the gridiron.
Yeah, definitely. It's impressive to see with such a true freshman quarterback at the helm on what's going around, as well as Auburn's Bo Nix as well, another true freshman. As you can see, this true freshman taking over. Could be a quick opportunity for UNLV. A breakaway save. It's still loose. Ends up being blown down. I think Severson did just enough to limit the damage for Arizona State.
Well, a little bit of saving of face for Severson, who's had a great game. That puck literally landed on his helmet before trickling into the goal. Luckily for him, it was blown dead.
And with just about 6 seconds left, just tying a bow on this one. Turns for Arizona State. Oh, and a big hit there, and
that's just kind of frivolous. What's the point of this?
Yeah, exactly. This time it's Shaw, and
the game is over. This is why.
And nothing to gain at all for both teams, as now you could be talking suspensions possibly leaking into their next weekend's games for both teams, respectively.
I believe that was John who had the big fight earlier in the game where his lid was busted open and he cut his forehead.
Nonetheless, it's so good to see him back out there and active, but
maybe not in that way.
Yeah, not in this manner.
I think that was a little bit of payback for him for that earlier conflict.
Just about 2 seconds left, and looks like the referees communicating to both benches are just going to drop that puck and just let those 2.5 seconds just run down off the clock.
He tells the teams to line up, and we'll get out of here. UNLV with a strong performance in the third period to survive. They allow the one goal with about 10 minutes left to play, but ASU can't compound it to get back into the game, and the Rebels will emerge with a 4-2 victory in the Valley of the Sun.
Yeah, for UNLV, it's going to end up being a 2-1 road trip, so definitely something you can take. End up dropping the puck, and now that'll conclude this evening's game as UNLV comes out 2-1 on their road trip here on this Arizona swing and end up winning by the score of 4-2. And in terms of this game for tonight, a different UNLV performance in a positive way of really dictating play all 60 minutes.
Well, and that seems like it was the big difference here tonight. They got to get into that more whimsical, open style of hockey that they wanted to play today, as ASU struggled in the center third of the ice to maintain control. They wanted the muck of the game, make it more physical. They could not. UNLV is able to take advantage as they slot in 4 goals and take a 2-goal win on the road at ASU.
And we're here at Oceanside Ice Arena's press box. I'm Brett Vaughn here, along with Elliot and, with Peyton. And Peyton, again, we're talking about a little more as you were going into Arizona State's performance this weekend.
ASU has been up and down. Again, with hockey developing here in the desert, you're going to have growing pains, and this program is subject to them as well, just like any. Obviously, the high-level NCAA program had a great season last year, and you want to take that momentum. You said 100 players tried out for the club circuit here at ASU, and that's a great sign. It's only going to improve the player pool, but again, the growing pains are going to be there. You can't win every game.
Yeah, and again, so early in the season, a lot of new faces out here for Arizona State, but we can tell that it is an improvement from last year in terms of actually beating UNLV once in this season in the Division I level.
Well, and you always want to defend home ice, and that is what ASU did in the first game. They just were not effective enough, not sharp enough in this second game to come out with a victory.
Well, folks, thanks again for tuning in tonight for this Division I ACHA ASU hockey game, and please stick around as it's going to be Peyton and Jack who helped me during the second period taking over for tonight's Division II game as the Sun Devils face the San Jose State Spartans. Well, folks, again, thank you so much for tuning in, and I'm reminding you of tonight's final score. For the UNLV Rebels 4 and the Arizona State Sun Devils 2. ASU goes 1-1 on the weekend, and some encouraging signs showing for this upcoming season. We say thank you so much. This is Brett Vaughn signing off, saying good night from Oceanside Ice Arena on Arizona State Hockey YouTube.